Hey everybody, welcome to part 2 of expanding the sound studio. In this series, we're going to be talking in order of some modules and ways that you can build up a Eurorack system that is using the Moog Sound Studio as a base. As I make these videos, I'm going to update the table of contents in the description. So if you're watching from the future, feel free to go down there and click around and check it out. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe so you get a notification of when I put out a new video. And also, if you want to support my channel, I'd really appreciate it if you went to check out my Patreon page. There's patchbooks and module giveaways and other things on there that might interest you. So today is probably one of the driest choices that you have to make, but it's the first one, and that's getting a case, or more specifically a power supply. So there's tons of different options out there. Let me just gloss over a little bit of terminology before we get started. Eurorack cases are measured in width by HP, which stands for horizontal pitch. Common HP is 60, 84 is a really common one, and then it goes up from there, 104, etc. For reference, the Sound Studio is 60 HP wide, so if you got an 84 HP case, it would be just slightly longer, wider than the Moog Sound Studio. The height is measured in rack units, which is denoted by a big U. Eurorack is done mostly in 3U, although there are modules being put out there in 1U. There are, of course, synth modules in 4U and other formats, but typically speaking, most things are 3U. It can get a little confusing when you start seeing cases that will say 84 HP 9U. It means 3 sections of 84 HP. So it can be a little bit confusing, but just basically remember that HP is the width, the 3U is the height, and if you see something like 9U, it's probably talking about 3 different sections of HP. So let me just start off with my recommendation of where I think you should start. And this is if you don't have a case at all, I would go for the Tip Top Audio Happy Ending Kit. Here's mine right here. And you might be asking yourself, wait a second, that's not the Happy Ending Kit. It has wood sides. The Happy Ending Kit's just basically a rack. And that's true. I actually built this. I didn't even put it back on it. I made this even after I had a bigger rack so that I could lay it flat to do my videos showcasing modules. It typically comes with rack ears that look like this. And there's 2 of them, and the rails just go between them, and it's an exposed rack. So why am I recommending this? Number 1, it's the absolute cheapest option for you. I mean, you can make a case out of anything. You can make it out of a cardboard box, but you need a way to power it. And the Micro Zeus power supply right here is an excellent power supply, especially to start with. It gives you 1000 milliamps of power, and you can buy this adapter to actually double the power. It comes with these flying bus boards for you to attach your modules to. And if that's not enough, there are 10 of them that it comes with, but if that's not enough, you can actually daisy chain them together. I wouldn't go too far with it, but basically there's a lot of room to grow into. I would also say building this did not take much effort. You can actually build this with common hand tools, a handsaw and a drill. I used the rack ears that came with it as a template. How I did it was I put it on the end and drilled holes right through the holes that were already placed in it. And that's where I screwed in my rails. It's gonna be the cheapest entry point. Realistically speaking, if you have tons of money and you can throw down $400, $500, $600 on a case and then start buying modules, by all means, go for it. Most of us though, however, don't have that kind of cash laying around. And buying modules is super, super expensive. In my opinion, I think it's best just to get your foot in the door with the absolute cheapest option for a case. Spend that extra money on modules that are gonna get you excited about Eurorack, that are gonna get you excited to be playing music. Plus, you can build a nice case around it, and the Micro Zeus power supply, you can grow into it. In fact, this is the 2 This is going to be the 2x84 HP case that we eventually get into. Right now it's empty right here because I had to take the Micro Zeus out to show you what the happy ending kit was like, but it's going to go right back in here. I built this case in the same manner. It's kind of shoddily put together and painted over. It's not terribly well done, but this saved me a ton of money. What's also great about going down this route is that if you buy a huge case without tons of modules, you're gonna have all this empty space. It might make you want to start buying modules that you don't need or you're not ready for. But if you buy a nice small case, then you can slowly fill it up. It won't take up that much space. And when you're ready to go on, when you're ready to move up to the next stage and add another row, the Micro Zeus can definitely power that. And all you need to do is buy an extra set of rails and just buy some cheap plywood or scrap wood or something. So that's my recommendation for cases. Some other popular ones that I've heard, certainly the Moog cases are very popular and they match the Sound Studio. I've also heard the Tip Top Mantis is a great option. One of my first cases was the Dofer low cost case. I got the vintage edition. It kind of looks like a guitar amp. I got this for about $450 used. It has an absolutely great power supply on it, and it's a workhorse. But also, I'd recommend going on Modulargrid, play around, make up your own racks. Check out the one that I built. It's linked in the description. At the bottom of each rack, it'll tell you what the power requirements are, and you can check that against any power supply that you're interested in. And just as a side note, I know I brought up a lot of DIY stuff of like building your own case and stuff. I would throughout this whole video series, I'm going to be recommending doing a lot of DIY work. It saves you a ton of money. You build new skills. It's super fun. So don't let all that stuff scare you. Just jump right in and it'll make your whole journey so much better. So that's it for the case. If you don't have a case, go out and buy yourself a happy ending kit, put it together, and you can use it in the next video, which I'm going to be showing off the first module that I'm going to recommend getting, which is an effects module. It's the After Later Audio Cumulus. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.